Bodhicitta field, what to visualize, how to visualize. And the purpose of this practice to activate the Buddha nature, which is obscured by the mental defilements. And the mental defilements are of two kinds, gross and the subtle. The gross, also referred to as the afflictive obscurations, the presence of which ensnares us in samsara. Whereas the cognitive obscuration, the subtle stains of the afflictive obscurations, the presence of which obstructs us from achieving Buddhahood. And the first one can be obstructed or can be eliminated by introducing the light of the wisdom, for the reason that all the afflictive obscurations, somehow they are rooted to self-grasping ignorance. And the cognitive obscuration, by resorting to the same wisdom, but the driving force should be bodhicitta on top of the renunciation. And imagine that all sentient beings are joining you, and you are leading this prayer. Page 2. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, and no sameness. I prostrate to the Consummate Buddha, the Supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace which is freed of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the Buddhas and to the hearers and bodhisattvas, who through the knowledge of all these hearers seeking pacification and complete peace, who through the knowledge of past causes was helping migrators to achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of omniscience, the subdue has set forth the varieties in all aspects. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings. The teachers who guard and protector, to you I make prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays. To you, the Buddha, I make prostrations. Okay, page 7. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanje jodo tsoge chonam la chanju pardu dane gyapsu che dage jinso kibe sonam tola benjir sanje du barajo sanje chodan tsoge chonam la chanju pardu dane gyapsu che dage jinso kibe sonam ge tola benjir sanje du barajo sanje chodan tsoge chonam la chanju bardo dane gyapsu che dage jinso kibe sonamgi tola benjir sanje du baraisho. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the situation causes well is taught by the great seer Venda. Is this fine? There's some vapor coming out of this AC. Vapor or what? Is it vapor? Are you sure? Others not coming. Okay. If it explodes. Yeah. No. Now it's stopped. Okay. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum teshan tathagato hyavatat Desham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaya swaha Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum teshan tathagato hyavatat Desham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaya swaha Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum teshan tathagato hyavatat Desham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaya swaha. Okay, page 8. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I gendered the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Okay, praise Buddha Shakyamuni, page 10. Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. The stanza 1. Stanza 1, which is Om, O Supreme amongst humans, you were born as such, you paid of 7 strides, then said, I'm supreme in this world. So this, how we need to understand this is in the form of, say, the beings, essentially makes they all suffer in samsara. And then the Buddha appeared on this earth as a just newborn child. And the historical or the biography had is that the Buddha took 7 steps, and he proclaimed as a very newborn child, he proclaimed that I'm the supreme in this world. So it doesn't mean that I'm the supreme in all of the inferior. This is not a connotation, meaning that I've already transcended the suffering, and I'm there to help you. So you don't have to worry. I'm there. I've come now. So this is connotation. So oftentimes I did meet some people who said that, what is this? I'm supreme in this world. This is like, say, a little odd, but this is not a connotation. I think I think we need to do something with the translation also. It's a matter of translation also. So the connotation is that I'm there. You should not worry. I'm there. I've come to relieve all beings. This is the idea. Okay. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the full destroyer, the completely perfected, full awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide to human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods in human beings, to you, the completely and full awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings and go for refuge. When, O Supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you paced of 7 strides, then said, I'm supreme in this world. To you who are wise, then I prostrate. With pure bodies, form supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best law, to you I prostrate. With the supreme signs, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dustry like you, the 3 worlds are not, incompatible wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you the one I prostrate. The purity that frees one from the attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dhamma that pacifies I prostrate. Those who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you the sublime community intending virtue are prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teachings of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud, see conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all seeings, subdue the four falls, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Okay, Heart Sutra. The 3 points not missed. I prostrate to the irretrievable gem. Thus did I hate one time. The Bhagavan was dwelling on a mass of vultures mountain at Rajgriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Bhagavan was absorbed in the concentration. And the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra. Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly, beholding those five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Empty is not other than form, form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, composite factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, Ansi is stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composite factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no odor, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element, and so on, up to and including no mind element or no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, the bodhisattvas allow one to dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration, thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifest a completely awakened to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment and reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of the great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequal, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared, Yatha Om Gade Gade Para Gade Para Samgade Bodhi Swaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom just like that. And the Bhagavan arose from that concentration and commanded the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom, just as you have indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Bhagavan, having thus spoken, the Venerable Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara, those arranged in the entire, they are along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised as spoken by the Bhagavan. Tiyatha Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhi Swaha Tiyatha Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhi Swaha Tiyatha Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhi Swaha Bodhicitta Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhi Swaha Dhyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhi Swaha Dhyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhi Swaha Dhyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhi Swaha. Page 18. By the teachings of the three supreme jewels possessing the power of truth, may in and outer hindrance be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be non-existent, may they be pacified, may all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified, may the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified, may we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma, may all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma, may auspiciousness and perfect happiness pervade this place now. With the determination to achieve the highest aim, for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may I hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as the lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character, oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I have discovered a jewel treasure. When others out of jealousy treat me wrong with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have helped or in whom I have placed great hopes mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all this remain undefiled by the stains of the 8 mundane concerns, and may I, recognizing all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. From my 2 collections, vast space that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds with eyes blinded by ignorance. Okay, Simnam Puja. I bow down to the youthful Arya Manjushri, you alliance amongst humans, God of freedom in the present, past, and the future, in the worlds of the 10 directions. To all of you with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down, with the energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world. To all you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every atom of Buddhas, numberless as atoms, each amidst a host of Bodhisattvas. And I'm confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with the Buddhas in this way, with the infinite oceans of praise for you and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice. I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas and celebrate all of you gone to bliss. Beautiful flowers and regal garlands, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense, I offer it to you, victorious ones. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings in spectacular array, I offer it to you, victorious ones. With transcendent offerings, peerless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of conviction in the Bodhisattva way, offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I've done, with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment again, I lift up my heart and rejoice in all the merit of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers here still standing and you are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening. All you who are my guides, please turn the supreme will of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request you who may actualize Parinirvana, please stay with us for aeons, numberless as atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have created by paying homage, offering and acknowledging my faults, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddha stay and teach, I now dedicate all this for the full awakening of all beings. Okay, middle offering. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha filled and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. May I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the Dharma. May I be blessed that my Dharma practice is on the proper path. May I be blessed that the path is free of flaws. May I be blessed that the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. Becoming frustrated with ignorance that grasps at true existence, please bless me to generate genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind overflows with the precious bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious wisdom of non-duality, bliss and emptiness. Edam Guru Radha Mandala Kamni Rate Amen. Okay, the actual practice of the foundation of all good qualities. The foundation of all good qualities is a kind and perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to him is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly day and night takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After that, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of virtuous and non-virtuous karma follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful to abandon even the slightest negativity and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them is the door to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great question arise. The root of the teaching is keeping the pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so for all mother migratory beings, please bless me to say this, train in supreme bodhicitta and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I have developed bodhicitta, but I don't practice the three types of morality, I'll not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva vow with great energy. Once I pacify the distractions through objects and correctly analyze the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within the mind stream the unified path of karma abiding especially inside. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme Vajra vehicle. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the two attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pleasures like my life. Then, having realized the importance of the two stages, essence of Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who showed the noble path and the spiritual friends who have practiced their long lives, please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. And all my lives never separated from perfect Gurus, may enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualitative stages and paths. May I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. Okay. First, the very quick physical exercise. Okay, body upright. Ready? Pull. I'll give 5 minutes breathing meditation. Okay, next renunciation on the basis of the four seals. As we did yesterday, it's not going to be guided the meditation. I'll simply give the outlines, and our job is to elaborate on this, be creative, bringing in your experiences and so forth. And then as I say the second seal, then don't rush, slowly wind up what you're doing with the first, and then make a conclusion, draw a conclusion, and slowly move to the second. This is how we're going to follow. Okay. Always begin with the renunciation. Renunciation means to renounce the miseries. Renouncing a total misery in the most refined way. That can be done on the basis of understand emptiness. And to renounce miseries, we need to know how to renounce the cause of the miseries, for which our very compassionate teacher Buddha Shakyamuni taught the most efficient way of meditating on the four seals, so that the renunciation, or the ways and manner to renounce the cause of miseries, and thereby automatically renounce the miseries happen. Okay, for that matter, the first seal, all composite things are impermanent. Impermanence is of two kinds, gross and subtle. We can meditate accordingly. All contaminated things are of suffering nature. Everything is of the nature of emptiness and selflessness. See yourself in the light of the 6 elements. Element of earth, the solid part of the self, like the skin, the muscles, the bones, the heart, the lungs, and all the solid part. None of this is me. Element of water, the liquid part is also not me. Element of fire, the body heat, is also not me. Element of air, the air that I breathe in and out, is also not me. Element of space, I'm solid in nature, the space and vacuum in nature, is also not me. Element of consciousness, or element of mind, I'm a male, I'm a female. The mind doesn't have a gender. Gender is posited on the basis of the body. The consciousness is also not me. Okay, now what do you see? I'm seeing the 6 elements distinctly. Where is the self? Don't forget the 2 questions. So first, what are you seeing? I'm seeing the 6 elements distinctly. Nothing to do with each other. They're all just like 6 different people put together. And where is the self? This 6, if the 6 elements are the self, then there should be 6 selves. But there's only one self. This kind of way. Then where is the self? It disappears. It is empty, apart in this experience for a while. How does the self appear before you actually check, before you actually delve into this analysis? How does it appear? Appear as a person meditating. Now where is the self? Seeing the 6 elements. It disappears. It disappears. It's empty. About in this experience for a while. Now what's the benefit of this experience? Just as this self disappears, we subject all the miseries that we go through to renounce. Think of renouncing miseries. All the miseries we go through, we subject the same analysis to these miseries. Sickness, aging, death, worries, anxieties, fears, tension, depression, and so forth. They will also disappear. Sorrow disappears. This is how you transcend sorrow. When the sorrow is transcended, mental agitation stops, mental irritation stops, mental fluctuation stops, anxiety stops. The peace is experienced. And if you're able to abide in this experience for good, this peace is what you can experience eternally. This is known as transcending sorrow, is absolute peace. Abide in this experience of the absolute peace or nirvana, which only came from the experience of emptiness. This is the most refined understanding of renunciation, to renounce the miseries. Abide in this experience for a while. Here the involuntary pull and push stops. The real freedom, the real peace, the real happiness is the freedom, total freedom, perfect freedom. And this freedom is where opposite of which is the loss of freedom. Loss of freedom is when your mind is involuntarily pulled and pushed 24/7, even in the dreams, due to seeing things as so objectively real. So involuntary pull and push, this is Loss of freedom. Loss of freedom is misery, and the misery is samsara. Now, with this practice, involuntary pull and push stops. Therefore, the loss of freedom stops. The freedom is restored. And the total freedom is the freedom from samsara. This is nirvana. This is freedom from samsara, freedom from the fears of samsara. This is the most refined understanding of the renunciation. While other sharings, we have to renounce this life, we have to renounce the next life, we have to renounce the happiness. Of course, it is not to undermine these sharings, but the final understanding, the most refined understanding should be done on the basis of understanding the emptiness. And today we did that. Okay, we'll slowly come out of this. Let's prepare ourselves for the next Bodhicitta practice. Okay. Reinforce the visualization of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. What to visualize, how to visualize. How to visualize makes the whole difference. Without including how to visualize this, simply by visualizing 100,000 times, but not including how to visualize in a very dramatic way. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas so affectionate, loving, caring towards you, and you are like their son, you are like their daughter, who is demoralized, craving to be at home, and you just dash to his home, and your parents are waiting there to embrace you, to give full love, affection, attention, so forth. This is the meaning of how to visualize. That makes the whole difference. In fact, doing this practice, visualization, by including how to visualize this, doing one would be much more powerful than doing the visualization, same visualization 100 times without the inclusion of how to visualize. So this is so important. Likewise, Bodhicitta field, what to visualize and how to visualize. The same thing here. Particularly when you include the two parents on the two sides, whether they are passed away or whether they are with you. Even if you have difficult times with the parents, now with the practice, study, reflection and a meditation on bodhicitta and wisdom of emptiness, we're trying to transcend how the ordinary people view the world. We're trying to transcend our ordinary people's perception, our ordinary people's very fragile, very vulnerable, the reaction to this world, easily being affected by external factors, thus forgetting the kindness that one has received from the parents when you needed the kindness the most, when you were in your tender age. And instead, for very basic, simple differences, then you feel agitated, angry towards the parents. So this is how the ordinary people behave. Now, we should not remain so ordinary. We have to transcend being ordinary. So it is for this reason that we will not behave like how the ordinary people behave, will angry towards their parents, so forth. Instead, we'll embrace by remembering the kindness. We'll be particularly for the affection towards them and put them onto our two sides. And all family members, including children and all Jambi sentient beings. How to visualize them. This is so important. And the purpose of this practice is particularly to crush our self-centered attitude. So with this motivation, and also by visualizing all sentient beings with you and you leading this, and now all are like your children, and then follow you in this practice of the four immeasurables. Again, it's not going to be a guided meditation. You should be as creative. And in future, at home, if you cannot do it through your own reflection or through your own creativity, then you can listen to the recordings and to the meditation along with the recordings being played. And then this is how you try to build confidence. So while doing on your own now, this will tell us how you're competent at the moment. And if you can do it, is well and good. If you cannot, don't worry, try your best. And then when going back home, you must do the same practice but listen to the earlier recordings. We give the four immeasurables: immeasurable loving kindness, next to immeasurable compassion. Immeasurable joy. immeasurable equanimity. Underscoring for all the four immeasurables as unconditional love, abide in this unconditional love for all dim and sentient beings for a while. Imagine that you are looking at the eyes of each dim and sentient beings, to the extent with tremendous love and affection, to the extent that each one of them feels themselves as so special in the eyes. With his mind, with folded hands, let us make a commitment of Bodhicitta, the most beautiful mind that possibly exists in this universe. Amazingly beautiful, amazingly beautiful. Let us say this commitment 3 times together. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mothers sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mothers sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mothers sentient beings. Abide in this most appealing, courageous mind of Bodhicitta for a while. Amazing. On this very holy land of Lama Selimba. Lama Selimba and there's all these amazing great practitioners, his students. How happy they are today. They are making this courageous commitment which once they generated 1,000 years ago on this holy land. Slowly transform this beautiful mind of Bodhicitta into a spotless clean moon disk, 1 inch or 1.5 inches in diameter, horizontally sitting on the heart. It's amazing that you made such a courageous commitment, amazing. But the question arises, 2 questions. What can guarantee that you will achieve Buddhahood after making this commitment? 1. Number 2, even if there's a guarantee that there's some kind of the seed there, but how do you know? Since time immemorial till now, you have not become enlightened. So now how can you say that you can be enlightened? Okay, yes, to the first question, I have the Buddha nature. I'm not like a handful of sand when squeezed. No oil coming out of that. Rather, I'm more like a handful of sunflower seeds, where the oil comes out of that when we squeeze. Likewise, I have a Buddha nature, like a gold mixed with the soil in its ore. Likewise, I have the Buddha nature, which is so brilliantly there, yet mixed with the defilements, rooted to the self-grasping, ignorance, self-centered attitude. But how can you say that you can achieve enlightenment now? Since time immemorial you have not achieved that. Yes, that's true. So far, I befriended with the 2 demons, self-grasping, self-grasping and self-centered attitude, thinking that these two are the best of my friends, always coming to guard me. Now for the first time I discovered that it was just a facade. It's just a total deception. I'm disillusioned by that. Now I will not at all surrender to the two demons. These two are not my friends. These two are the worst of the demons. I will not surrender these two. I'll say no to these two. I'll exterminate the two demons. How are we going to do that? By resorting to the motivation, the bodhicitta, to a driving force of bodhicitta, then resorting to the actual remedy, actual attitude of the wisdom of emptiness. Okay, quickly retrieve the experience of the emptiness of the self as you did as a third seal from the four seals of the Buddha's teachings. What are you doing? I'm meditating. You're actually made of 6 elements. Yes, that's true. I remember earth, fire, earth, water, fire, air, space, consciousness. And all these 6 elements, they're all distinct from each other. There's no one entity which pervades all the 6 elements. What we see as, in an unanalyzed manner, what we see as a person meditating, person pervading over all these 6 elements, this is illusion. It's just coming from your mind. Nothing there is pervading from the object. It's just an illusion. Just coming from the mind. It's just subjectively real. The person which seems to be pervading all 6 elements is just coming from the subject, from the object. If there is something there from the object, it's just the 6 elements. There's no one common factor which pervades all 6. So from the object side, there's no person. The person is empty. What are you seeing now? I'm seeing the 6 elements. Where is this person? Don't forget the 2 questions. What are you seeing now? I'm seeing the 6 elements. Second question, where is this person? This person is empty. Abundance experience. This is the most fearless mind that possibly exists in this universe, and today you have it. This is one we can cut all the fears of samsara. Slowly transform this fearless mind of the wisdom of emptiness into a spotlessly clean white vajra, thumb-sized white vajra, vertically sitting on the monte scale of your heart. Amazing, amazing, amazing. You have the fire and moon, the 2 bodhicittas. Don't forget that all the sentient beings are there. Yes, indeed. The intensity of love and affection that you feel towards all the sentient beings, the way you invoke during the part of the meditation, bodhicitta, this intensity of life, the love and affection towards all beings, invokes your Vajra moon to multiply infinite number of times. Invoke the 2 bodhicittas in the form of the Vajra moon to multiply infinite number of times. And share one at the heart of your mother. Share one with your father at his heart. Share one with each one of family members, including your children. Share one with each one of the people here in Rumakito Resort, all the staff, all the fish, all the insects, all the mosquitoes. Share with each one of the beings in Indonesia, in your own countries, in the entire world, in every world system of the Milky Way galaxy, every world system of the entire universe. Amazing. Now everyone, all sentient beings, every single sentient being has the 2 bodhicittas in the form of Vajra moon. Amazing. Yes, conventional bodhicitta symbolized by the moon is the final remedy to overcome the self-centered attitude, and the Vajra symbolizing the wisdom of emptiness or the ultimate bodhicitta is the one which is the final remedy to overcome the self-grasping ignorance. And of course,
when driven by the wisdom of emptiness, is the ultimate remedy to overcome the cognitive obscuration. Amazing, amazing. Okay, when the child is performing on the stage for the first time, the child should not forget that her two parents so proudly amongst the audience were waving their hands, congratulating you, so proud, so happy. This is exactly what is happening to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Amazing, amazing. All the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they are with us. They are so happy, they are so intense happy today for the first time after all these many lifetimes since time immemorial, when we have been only bringing sadness, only bringing embarrassments and so forth, Bodhisattvas. Today, in disbelief, we are doing so good. There's the greatest meaning that makes all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas so happy, so intense happy. Why not we request and beseech all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please be a witness, please be a guest, please be a witness to this undertaking of the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. So with this message, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas so happily consented to be the witness, like the father and mother consenting the child, accepting the invitation with so much of pride and happiness. So as we just make the request, along with all dear sentient beings, let us slowly stand up to make 3 prostrations to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Okay, how hard is the floor? If it is too hard, make sure there's something stand underneath so that you can sit like this for a longer time. If not, it's fine. Okay, by the way, while you do this, if you start feeling pain, then make sure that you sit in the most comfortable way, because the thought process, this is the most important thing. Okay, with this, let's turn to page 34. Okay, this is the one to reinforce or to prepare ourselves to this journey of taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. And don't forget, all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas with great excitement, they're watching us, and then they assented or consented to this invitation. Now they are present there. They're so happy, proud of watching us. And all the dear sentient beings, they're happily joining you at your very compassionate and very loving gesture of inspiring them. And they're so happily coming to you because of their total trust out of love towards you. Everyone happily joins you. And you are leading this. Okay, let's say this 3 times. And when we say this, just see how your mind flows in the meaning. How your mind flows in this is so important. Oftentimes, unintentionally, words flow and your mind does not flow in the meaning. Okay.
I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. Okay, next, the actual ceremony. Invoking Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas as your witness, as your guests. And the two stanzas. Okay, the first stanza is about so when we are taking a journey for the first time, which was never taken by anyone before, it's very difficult. It's so difficult. One can become very apprehensive, and one can lose your sense of courage and determination and so forth, not knowing where it is. But by this first stanza, you gain a confidence that this is a journey not that I'm taking for the first time. This is a journey which all the Buddhas have already taken. So this is a very familiar journey by the enlightened beings. So if I go there, it's already very safe. I can't really reach there. So this commitment, kind of the deep the conviction that can come to us. So with this, the journey becomes more ease and more forceful. And the second stanza is just the Buddhas, how they become enlightened by two factors. First, by cultivating very strong determination to become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. Number two, to familiarize or to materialize the aspiration of this Bodhicitta commitment, they actually engaged in the Bodhisattva practices in order to become Buddha. The Bodhisattva practices such as the 6 perfections or the 10 perfections. Likewise, I will also follow the footsteps. They're very compassionate, very affectionate, and very wise footsteps by engaging Bodhisattva, by generating this very powerful motivation of Bodhicitta, one. Number two, to materialize this aspiration of the Bodhicitta, I will also engage in the Bodhisattva practices. So during the third repetition, when you say the last two lines, when it says, and likewise shall I too successfully follow the Bodhisattva practices, imagine that you have received the aspiration of Bodhisattva vow and you are very fortunate. You are very fortunate. We never know. Of course, we will pray that we will, as many times in the future, to also come here to this holy land to take the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. But if it doesn't happen, then still what we are doing now is so precious happening in the holy land of the Lama Selingpa, and who was actually responsible, whose tradition actually been inherited over the last 1,000 years, and now we are like they say like, I don't know, maybe like 20th generation very likely. Okay, so we should be like the very someone, Lama Selingpa should be feeling so proud of us that now I don't have to worry. There are these people there, 60 people there who are lineage holders. So they're disseminating this. Okay, so with this mind, tremendous joy should be felt. Okay, yes, we'll say this 3 times together, wholeheartedly, and letting your mind flow in the meanings. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as their successors dwelt in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully follow the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as their successors dwelt in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too practice the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as their successors dwelt in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully follow the Bodhisattva practices. Okay, rejoice in this act of having received the aspiration Bodhisattva vow, and this should be like the factor, the very strong flaring factor for you to take the actual Bodhisattva vow
in the near future. So which lays the ground for you to become a full-fledged bodhisattva and eventually become the ultimate bodhisattva. Ultimate bodhisattva meaning those bodhisattvas who reach the path of seeing. They are known as the ultimate bodhisattvas. Okay, so with this, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they're so intensely happy and proud of you, and it is like the performance of the school children come to an end, and all the audience, they were applauding the children, and amongst them the parents, two parents are so proud, and particularly their daughter, their son, for the first time coming out in public for making a performance, and did so well, and so seeing this, the parents were so proud, so happy, they could not contain their joy. So this is what happens to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And this intensity of the happiness the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas feel invokes the full-fledged Vajra moon to multiply infinite number of times. And in mirages they descend like rain shower. In mirage they descend to merge with the one that you visualize in your heart. Become non-dual, stabilized and blessed. Likewise in mirages, all these replicas they descend to merge with the one that you visualize in the heart of your mother. Likewise at the heart of your father. Likewise at the hearts of each one of your dear mothers, each one of your family members, each one here in Rumagito Resort, the staff, the fish, the insects, including the mosquitoes and so forth, everyone, and all the visitors, all the guests here, and everyone in Jambi, and everyone in Indonesia, everyone in this world, and everyone in the entire universe. Amazing. So this is the greatest offering that you can make to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Imagine what would the best gift for your parents is when the parents grow old and they find it hard to survive themselves. Then when the eldest daughter or the eldest son make the commitment to the mother, instead of giving something so solid, like the lumps of money and so forth, instead of that, if the eldest daughter or the eldest son makes the commitment to the mother, please take rest. I'll take care of you and I'll take care of all my siblings. I'm already grown up. Now you don't have to worry, I'll take care. So look, now the mothers responsible, mothers worry over the children. They are all going to be taken care of by the eldest daughter, the son. So look, what a relief comes to the mother. This is the greatest gift, and today you did it. Today you did it. All the Buddhas, this is the greatest offering that you can make to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Today you have pledged to take the responsibility for all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas on your own shoulder to benefit all sentient beings. Amazing. They are so happy. They are so happy. Likewise, this is the greatest gift that you can possibly offer to all dear mother sentient beings. You can give the material resources. It's fine, and it will exhaust. You may give some protection to the life. Again they die. Again they take birth. Again they have the same problem there. But giving the gift of the bodhicitta, given the gift of the wisdom of emptiness, and this will guarantee that they don't become back to samsara anymore, that each one of them experience the bounties of happiness, the highest, the zenith of the experience of happiness eternally. What greater gift can you expect than this? And this is exactly what you've given today to all dear mother sentient beings. Amazingly greatest gift. This is the greatest meaning of your life. This is what is meant by extracting and giving a meaning, the greatest meaning to your life, and today you did it. This is all because of the kindness of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Along with all dear mother sentient beings, let us slowly stand up to make 3 prostrations to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas as a gesture of thanking them for making this happen.
Okay, please turn to page 35. Now to stabilize this and to make sure that even in the future lifetimes that you are not separate from these two precious practices. Wholeheartedly say prayers. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious Bodhicittas even at the cost of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious Bodhicittas even at the cost of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious Bodhicittas even at the cost of my life. Okay. Now to reinforce their compassion on the basis of understanding the profound, the emptiness. Okay. Therefore, sentient beings resemble dreams. Upon analysis, they are like plantain trees. Whether they are released or not from sorrow, ultimately there is no difference. What is there to gain and what is there to lose with things that I am to be in true existence in this way? Who is there to pay me respect and who is there to abuse me? From what are pleasure and pain derived? What is there to be happy or unhappy about? When I search for the ultimate reality, who is there to crave and what is there to crave for? Upon analysis, this world of living beings is found to have no true existence. Therefore, who can die here? What is there to come and what has been? Who are friends and who are relatives? O you who are investigating reality, please recognize as I've done that all is just like space. Those who wish to be happy are greatly disturbed by causes of conflict and overjoyed by the cause of pleasure. Not finding happiness, they suffer. In order to find it, they exert themselves, they argue with others and curse against one another. With many wrong deeds, they live in a state of great hardship. Even though they repeatedly come to happy existences and experience much pleasure there, upon dying they fall for a long time into the unbearable suffering of lower realms. With conditioned existence, the chasms of suffering are many, and the liberating comprehension of ultimate truth is absent. Furthermore, the apprehension of true existence and understanding of emptiness mutually contradict one another. Yet if while in conditioned existence I do not realize this ultimate truth, I shall continue to experience a limitless ocean of misery, unbearable and beyond analogy. Likewise, through not having realized emptiness, I have little strength for virtue, and my human life of leisure and endowment is indeed very short. Also, I strive hard to live long and avoid illness. I am concerned with hunger, rest, and sleep. I am injured by others and keep meaningless company with the childish. Therefore, this life swiftly passes with no meaning, and it is very hard to find the chance to investigate reality. In this state, where is there the means to reverse this beginner's habit of grasping into existence? Further, my devils are exerting themselves to cast us into vast unfortunate realms. They show us many mistaken paths, and it is hard to resolve doubts in the perfect way. It will be hard to find leisure of human life again, and extremely difficult to find the presence of the Buddhas. It is hard to forsake this lot of disturbing conceptions. Allah, sentient beings will come to. For indeed it is worth feeling sorrow for those that drift in the river of pain, who although they experience great misery, are unaware of the sufferings they go through. For example, some ascetics wash themselves again and again, but although they thereby suffer greatly, they pride themselves in being content. Similarly, those who mistake their suffering for joy and live as though they were no age when dead are first of all killed by the Lord of Death and then experience the unbearable misery of falling into lower realms. When shall I be able to extinguish the pains of those tormented by the fires of suffering with the terrain of my accumulated happiness that has sprung from the clouds of my merits? And by having in the manner of not referring to true existence, respectfully gather the accumulation merit, when by referring to the other will I be able to reveal emptiness to those who are wretched and sad? Okay, rejoicing. In order to further increase it from now on, those with discernment who have lucidly mind of this way should highly praise it in the following manner. Today my life has borne fruit. Having well obtained this human existence, I have been born in the family of the Buddha and now one of Buddha's children. Thus, whatever actions I do from now on must be in accord with the family. Never shall I disgrace or pollute this noble and unsullied race. Just like a blind man discovering a jewel in a heap of rubbish, likewise by some coincidence an awakened mind has been born within me. It is the supreme ambrosia that overcomes the sovereignty of death. It is the inexhaustible treasure that eliminates all poverty in the world. It is the supreme medicine that quells the world's disease. It is the tree that shelters all beings wandering and tired on the path of conditioned existence. It is the universal bridge that leads to freedom from unhappy states of birth. It is the dawning morn of the mind that dispels the torment of disturbing conceptions. It is the great sun that finally removes the misty ignorance of the world. It is the quenching butter from the churning of the milk of Dharma. For all those guests traveling on the path of conditioned existence who wish to experience the abundance of happiness, this will satisfy them with joy, and it shall place them in supreme bliss. Today, in the presence of all the protectors, and allow the world to be guests at a festival of temporary and ultimate delight, may gods and demigods and all be joyful. I dedicate the merits thus gathered towards the realization of deeds and the prayers of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 3 times, and to the upholding the doctrine of the scripture and insight. May I in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect way in the 2 stages. From our 2 collections, vast is the space that I've amassed, from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom is blinded by ignorance. Okay, 3 prostrations.